Peace and love. Welcome to Alchemy Soul, a space for honest conversations about transformation, spiritual awakening, and the messy process of becoming who you really are. I am your host, Marquita, and I am super grateful to have you here. Listen, y'all. Okay, so I am challenging myself to show up here every week consistently. I think that I may even drop multiple episodes a week, just depending on how my spirit is being led. But in my last episode, I talked about consistency. And for me, this morning, I woke up and I was like, what is really stopping me from living out my dreams? What are the barriers? And I also had this feeling of, what do I need to heal? Like, that was a question. I'm like, have I done any healing work lately? Because for a long time, before I was in survival mode, I was doing a lot of healing work. And so the question of, am I healing and what do I need to heal now came up for me. And what I know is that whatever it is or whatever it may be, it definitely has a correlation with my career. And I know that because I am feeling so much angst and what is the word I want to say? I want to say maybe a little bit of resistance as it relates to my career. With my energy in particular, like, I'm a Sagittarius rising. I also have a stellium in Leo. And so with my stellium in Leo and with my Sag rising, and I'm also a manifesting generator, I like to skip steps. Like, I don't like the process of the things evolving, right? Like, I just want to be to the point of, like the end goal of me traveling the world and being hired to speak at events and, all of these things. And so I am negating the fact that I have to first build the foundation. First, I have to just, get my feet on the ground, right? And just get to the foundational work. And this is the foundational work. The foundational work is me showing up here, messy, strengthening my voice and, being imperfect and allowing myself to evolve in my speaking and in the way that I teach, and give out the energy into the universe. A lot of times when I'm speaking, I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking from the things that's on my mind. I'm speaking from spirit and whatever spirit is leading me to talk about. I don't feel that I'm a very rigid person when it comes to the kind of messages that I need to talk about. And maybe that structure will come, or maybe it will align in time, but where I am right now is, let me just show up. Like, let me just show up. Let me just come here and talk about whatever it is on my heart. And I know that, in due time, there will be somebody that will resonate with something that I'm talking about. And so for myself, I'm just, in a space of analyzing my career, and getting really, really honest with myself about where I am, and, where I have been and where I have allowed these sort of beliefs, right? These sort of beliefs to kind of formulate my identity. And one of those, beliefs, and I'm pretty sure this is common for a lot of people, is that I have to wait for alignment. And for a lot of people, that is the case, right? You want to wait for alignments. You want to wait for divine timing. You really want to wait for a nudge from spirit to take action. However, it comes a point within that where you have to accept that whatever is coming, I'm just going to use myself for example. If I am, processing something, or if I am going through something, which I am always processing something, I'm always going through something, there is no reason why I cannot pull out my phone and talk about it and give that energy out into the universe, right? And that's something very simple that I can just get into the habit of doing. I do believe in aligned action. I do believe in divine timing, but the disconnect that I've had is that I am not consistent. I am waiting around for a sign when spirit has literally given me the sign time after time after time. Every time I pull my birth chart, every time I go onto YouTube and say, give me, what is the ninth house about? What I have Leo in the ninth house. Okay, what's Leo in the ninth house about? I have a stellium, in that house. I Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus are my stelliums in that house. I know. Like, I know what my mission is. I know that I'm supposed to be speaking. And that's all, and I go and I look for these, understandings every single time, just so that I can kind of know myself and understand myself, and trying to get like some kind of confirmation, when really the confirmation is there. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And so where I'm at right now is I want to be consistent here in this space. I want to show up every week, if not multiple times a week, and just give my all to this. I have to fall in love with this process. I was thinking back to the beginning stages of my fitness journey. I am a very active person. No matter what, most of the time, I'm going to go to the gym 4 to 5 days a week. It's not a lot of things that keep me from not going to the gym. And it has been like this for years. So I thought back to the beginning stages of that journey, because that is something that I have had to build consistency and momentum with. And I know there was a part of, of my journey where I wasn't as consistent, but I still got back on. And so I think that part of it is important, is make sure that you always go back to what you love or what you're supposed to be doing. I always come back to speaking. I always come back to the book that I'm writing. I always, I might put it to the side for a second, but I always come back. And, when I was first building my fitness journey and, what I wanted it to grow into, I had moments and seasons where I wasn't as consistent. I had moments and seasons where it wasn't as important to me, but I had to build the momentum. And I want to say I had seasons. I had different seasons, right? I don't know. I think when I first started, so I started out, my first job was working in a gym. Like, that was my first job. I worked in a gym at the age of I think I got that job when I was 16 or something like that, at the University of Chicago. And I worked that job for a long time. Even when I was in college, I worked that job during the summer. And so I started out in a gym. I never used that gym. None of the time that I worked there. However, when I went to college, I got another job working at the rec center. And then I worked my way up, and then I became the supervisor of the rec center. When I was just an employee of the rec center, I didn't work out. When I became the supervisor of the rec center, I started to work out. And I think what drew me in is because I had to walk around the facility. I had to walk around and see like all of the rooms. I had to put away the weights. I had to maintain kind of the upkeep of the facility. And so that jump started my, fitness journey alongside I was in college. So I had put on some weight. The freshman 15 turned into like freshman 30. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, we are not doing this. Okay. Like, so, what I ended up doing was, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, okay, nah. Like, we have to get this weight off of us. And so I started to work out, and I enjoyed it. And then at one point, I got a trainer. I got a personal trainer. And my first personal trainer, his name is Hector. Shout out to Hector. He's out of the Chicago area. And he is an amazing trainer. Like, hands down, one of my best experiences training has been with him. But he, like, working with him, and having somebody to hold me accountable jumpstart that part of my fitness journey, right? And so, after I graduated college and I moved to Atlanta to pursue my master's degree, I still maintained, the consistency of working out. But one of the first things that I did when I got here was I found me a trainer, because I knew that I needed to have somebody, alongside me to hold me accountable. And it just felt better to have someone actually teaching me the moves and actually working with me, and training with me, like training next to me. So it just helped me feel more confident. And so I worked with a trainer by the name of Chelsea. I think she's still in the Atlanta area. I'm not really sure, but shout out to Chelsea. And that was my girl. And I worked with her for a couple of years, I think. And we did some amazing work. But even, during that time, like, I wasn't as regimented as, I am now. And in 2019 is when I really, really, like, fell in love. Like, I fell in love with fitness, because that is when I decided that I was going to do my first physique competition. And baby, I work with KD. Shout out to KD, one of my faves too, out of the Decatur, Georgia area. And working alongside him definitely just gave me so much motivation. The way that he just thinks, he's also a fellow Virgo. I'm also a Virgo. But the way that he thinks and the way that he puts the moves together makes it so fun, but it's a lot of hard work. And so when I was, training for my physique competition and just watching how my body just transformed before my eyes every single day, I would have to check in every week. But I would take pictures, and videos constantly. And I was literally just watching my body transform. And when I did that, that is what jumpstart really what I want to say, it really locked in the mindset, because I did that for 5 months before my competition. And I'm talking about disciplined. I was really disciplined in my eating, in my, the supplements and the water intake. And I was committed. And so that locked it in and sealed the deal. And now I still show up consistently in that manner. And I've even most recently had to detach from the mindset of having to eat 4 to 5 small meals, every day. Because what I learned is that, as you get older, your body changes, things change. And I was wondering, I'm like, baby, I'm going to the gym pretty much 5 days a week. I'm doing my cardio on the weekend and I am gaining weight. I'm gaining weight. And so something had to change. And so, of course, you always want to first go to your diet. And also, of course, as I am a woman, things also change as well. So, yeah. And I say all of that to say that it took time, right? It took a lot of time. It took me starting and stopping. It took me learning, the real importance of fitness and health, and that, what you intake into your body is, the most important. And it took me learning just different parts about the journey itself for me to really just do it every day. And now it's second nature. Like it's subconscious. Oh, that's what I want to say. It's a subconscious part of my identity. I just know that I'm going to wake up and go to the gym. It's not a if or if this or if that. I'm going. I'm going. And I don't even second guess it. I don't second guess it. Some days, like today, I was on my way and I was like, baby, I don't feel like going. But I was en route and I was like, I don't feel like going. And I talked to myself. I'm like, okay, what I'm going to do is the bare minimum. I'm going to hit this cardio and I'm going to get on some of these machines and I'm going to leave. And that's what I did. And I think the most important part of, any journey is making sure that you just show up. Just show up. And here, I want to build that same momentum. I also have a YouTube channel, and just like with YouTube, I'm in and out. I always go back, but I have moments where I don't stay consistent. But I want to. I have to fall in love with this journey. I have to fall in love with my voice and the things that I'm giving out. And, I just have to fall in love with the whole process. I don't know if I will ever listen back to any of these episodes. I might, because I definitely go back and listen to some of my YouTube videos. And I'm like, I said that, and I'd be so surprised at, the things that I say. And I'm like, I'm on to something. I am really I have a lot of wisdom, I have a lot of life experiences and things that I just, want to share with other people. And a lot of times when I do go back, I'm just like, wow, girl, you are talented. You are wise and smart. And, yeah, you got something to say. I got something to say, baby. Okay. And so for me, where I'm at right now is making sure that I'm just falling in love with it. I have to fall in love with it. And I don't really know why I haven't stayed consistent. I do know. I struggle a little bit with YouTube because of the aesthetic part of it, and having to have a clear background and clear camera and all of that. And so I don't really like that part of it. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm like, okay, well, I think that doing a podcast would align a little bit more, because nobody has to see my face. All I have to do is sit down, hit the button, and record. That is the path of least resistance for me. And as I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks, and as Abraham Hicks say, the path of least resistance is also the path of most allowance. And baby, I am in a space of allowing. I am in a space of desire and open to receive. I am in a receptive space because I am really detached. Like, I'm detached, but I am also wanting to attach myself to my career, because being detached, I don't think being detached is for every season. I also don't think, I think it's subjective, right? I think that it just depends on what you are attaching yourself to, because you can't be detached from everything. I'm detached from the outcome. I'm attached to my voice. I'm attached to showing up, and I'm attached to giving out the energy. I'm attaching myself to that part of it, but I am detaching myself from the numbers. I am detaching myself from the outcome. I'm detaching myself from how people will receive how I'm speaking or how I am, delivering the message and what I have to say. I'm detached from that part of it. I know that, whoever finds the information, whoever finds, this episode or the last episode, I know that it is aligned and meant for them, or it's not, because then they won't listen. I don't think that they will listen. I don't really know. But, yeah, I am feeling good. I'm feeling good about the direction I am headed in. I am giving myself a lot of grace. I am allowing myself to fall in love with the journey. I am at peace, with the direction that is, taken. I don't know where it would take me. I don't know if it will take me anywhere. I know I'm not going to say that. It's definitely going to take me places. It's going to take me places because I'm big on manifesting and all of that. So this is definitely like a lived manifestation already. You know what I'm saying? Like, already. It's a lived manifestation. I think about all the time, like, I have freedom. Like, I have time freedom. And I don't know if I appreciate enough the fact that I do have time freedom. I can do whatever I want every single day. I can show up however I want every single day. And I think that me having so much time freedom has resulted in me not being as disciplined as I should be. And I can admit that. I'm just like, I don't even know. A lot of times I don't even know where the time be going. I'm like, what did I do today? I don't know. But I can take 30 or 40, an hour out of my day and just give it to myself, give it to my dream, give it to something that I love and enjoy doing. I'm on the right track. I have big visions, I have big goals. I'm a Sagittarius rising, baby, with a Leo stellium, baby. Like, I am the dreamer. I am big. Like, my mind and, the things that I want to experience are big and massive. And so I have a lot of luck. I manifest pretty quickly and easily, which is amazing, because I really do believe in, I believe. Like, if anything, like, I have a huge belief factor. And so what's coming to me now is like, girl, if you really believe, like you say you believe, keep going. Just keep going. Just keep showing up. Just keep doing the work. Just keep going. And it doesn't have to feel like work in a traditional sense. That is a big thing for me. Like, I never want anything in my life to feel like work. I was like, okay, I can't do content creation. It's not my thing, because, baby, that's work. That's work. You showing up, you clocking in, you doing the things all day long. You take your camera everywhere. You can't even be present because you got to record all of the things all day long. You're going so you can go and record, and you can't even really, I mean, I guess you can enjoy it. I'm not really sure, but I'm not a person that can do like, I just don't have a desire to. It's not that I can't do it, I just don't want to do it because it feels too much like work. It feels too much like a hustle. And I think that they have created it in a way of like it being a hustle just based off of how the algorithms are set up. Like, everybody cannot be paid from this. Like, everybody can't, like, can it be a career for every single person? If you just, I mean, the potential is there, right? But just think about an accountant. Can that be a career for every single person? Right? Like, the potential is there. Potentially, yeah. But does it fit every single person? No. Can every single person be successful in that career as an accountant? No. So, it just into content creation, it's not meant for everybody. And I know dang on well it is not meant for me. Okay. It is not meant for me. And I think that me finding what works best for me, so that the things that I do and produce, it does not feel like work, does not feel like a grind or hustle. Yeah, that's the lane that I'm in. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep showing up. I'm just gonna keep showing up every single day with whatever I have to say. And eventually people gonna start listening. People will start listening, and I just want to give all of my love and appreciation for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here with me in this space. We have grand things that we want to accomplish, and we are going to do them. So I look forward to seeing how all of this evolves over time. So yeah, peace, love, and light. Beautiful blessings to you.